Hi, this is Tweek. Let's make a Pom Pom Cardinal. We start out by getting two sizes of pom-poms. And I wanted one for the little fat body. And I kind of used my hands to squish it down just a little bit. Think of making it like a teardrop shape. And what I want to do, I want to make a little more of a bird shape. So I'm going to take my fabric shears and I'm just going to cut very gently down the top of the pom-pom. And then right where I made that cut, I'm going to come along each side so you end up with more of a bird shape. See that? Now that part of the body is done. And now we need the head. And I got, see, a little teeny head there. I think that complements the size of his body. Let's see, I like this one a little better. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a black pom-pom, and it can be, whatever size. I went for the little ones. I'm just going to snip a little bit of this pom-pom off. See, just that little bit of black pom-pom. See how it all moves and comes and falls apart? And I want to make the face of the cardinal. So I'm going to try to smush it into more of a round shape on the bottom, a little more pointed on the top. Every cardinal has a pattern on their face, and they're not all alike, so I don't worry too much about that part. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the little face, the little pom-pom, and I'm just going to rub with the glue gun. I don't want a lot of glue here, so I'm just going to rub the edge of the pom-pom with the glue. I mostly just want what's on the tip. Just push that around so it's kind of smeared on the pom-pom. And then I'm going to take this little black bit and just push it on there. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to make the face. The glue is holding it. I'm turning it around too because sometimes I flip it around and it looks better going one direction than the other. See, I almost like it better like that, with more straight across the top. And that's just, personal preference. So I've got the black on there. Now I took a piece of sticky felt and just folded it in on itself. So I'm going to make a beak. I'm going to cut out a V. Got a real nice edge on it from it sticking, and there's no more sticky to it. Now this is obviously way too big for the cardinal, so I'm going to cut it down. See, which end do I like? I like this end for the beak, and put a little bit of a snip there. And I'm going to do this a few times till I get the size I want. I've got that much of a beak to go onto the face. I'm just going to glue it right in the middle of that black space, best I can. Now sometimes I can use this nut pick to make a little spot, but I think I used too much glue there. So we'll just do it. Grab the beak, make sure it's the way I want it to go. Not too good left-handed. Tiniest bit of glue. So I'm just pushing to let a little dot of glue come out. I'm going to go across the edge of the beak. See how little bit is there, hardly even a strand there. And I'm going to come over and push it into the face. Push it and hold it. I'm pushing a little harder because I want it to try to get into the black a little bit. And that's what we have so far. His little beak and his little face. So here's where I have some fun. I take these little teeny, these 2mm beads, black shiny beads, and there's a hole in the center. This is where the nut pick comes in handy. You could use a needle or something like that, or a toothpick would work. So I want to push that in and hang on with my finger. This is where you want to be really careful because I'm going to put the tiniest bit of glue on one side of the eyeball. Okay, so I'm going to push the glue out. I'm just going to touch this to the glue. I'm not going to pull the glue towards the bead. I want the bead to come in and get the glue. See, so you got the little tiny bit of glue on the eye. I'm going to come on either side of the beak, pick a side, and I'm going to push. I'm pushing pretty hard because I really want the eye to punch into, look more like it's an eye sticking out of a bird's head. And because the hole is on the bottom, you're not going to see the hole. But as I pull this out, see how the eye pops out a little bit? Oh my gosh, you're already starting to look cute. Okay, right now I'm going to repeat that on the other side. Touch, just touch. Don't want a lot. Just hanging on. pushing that in pretty hard. And when I pull this out, the eyes are fixed. And now I can manipulate just a little bit by pushing in on both eyeballs. And look what we've got here. I can see from looking at the top, his eyes are a little bit off. Boy, I just do not care. That's too darn adorable. Now, he needs a crest. I'm not going to do wings, but he needs a crest and he needs a tail. So here's the sticky felt. Just a little scrap that I had. So I'm going to make a tail. So I'm just going to take this piece and stick it on itself. You can see I've almost got the shape I want. And now this birdie can have a thicker tail if we want. I definitely want it to look like a bird tail. So I'm going to make a V in it. Be bold, people. Just make the cut. Now that's what you've got, like an arrowhead. But I want a little more of this fabric to go into the pom-pom, so I'm going to cut that tip off. Okay, so there's our bird tail. That's nice. Now, I'm going to put it into his butt. But first, we're going to put his head on. Here again, do you want your bird looking down? You want him looking back? I mean, this is where you have a little bit of fun. Going to kind of rub a little bit of the glue right in there. Then grab his head and just let it nestle. See, I'm not pushing, I'm just wiggling it into the pom-pom. And I think that gives you an overall appearance of, you can tell it's his head there. Okay, you need a crest and one eyeball sticking out, but you're darn cute. So to make the tail go in, see, I'm going to just take the pick again. I'm just going to ruffle that pom-pom just a little bit, make like a little crevice there. And that's where I'm going to stick the tail. Again, I'm going to put the glue on the tail. I don't want to make a blob inside the pom-pom there. Here again, how do you want the tail to go? Up, down. I'm just going to push it in and see what happens. Now I'm going to press the pom-pom up against it. I thought the crows were fun to make, but oh my goodness, these cardinals are so cute. That's what we got. But what's he missing? He really needs his crest. The crest is real simple too. I'm just going to take a piece of this. If anything here works, okay. And I'm just going to fold it in on itself. The only thing you have to be with the crest is they usually angle back on the bird's head. This is way too big for a crest, as you can see. So let's cut it down a little bit. Let me cut off the edge down here and see what I'm working with. So this is still way too big, but we're on the right track. Let's get rid of this. Now I know I'm going back with this crest. Let's see how else I have to measure it. That's pretty darn close, but there's still way too much there. I'm going to take a little bit off here to angle it back a little more. See how we're getting closer to it looking like a crest? And then I really think it's got to come. I think there's too much on the bottom here. And if I mess up, I'll get out another piece and redo it. So you ended up making a triangle. I just want one edge of the triangle to angle back on the bird's head. I think that is pretty darn close. Still a little bit big, you think? I'm going to take just a tiny bit more off. See, isn't that funny how I just went a little bit and still kind of big compared to some of the others, but I like that. So now to put this in there, I'm going to get the nut pick again. I'm just going to make a little crevice in his head. Ruffle his feathers a little bit, just so it'll be easier for the crest to fall into that slot there, giving you a part. So you can see it. You see it there? That's the part I want the glue on. I'm not really left-handed here, but again, hardly touch the glue, and you don't want to get burned. So just let it just come out a little bit, bubble out. Put just a little bit on the edge. Doesn't need a lot to stick to the pom-pom. And then amen and push. And as you push, pull up that little crevice, pull it up around his head. This is when I start laughing. Who do we have here? Well, where did you come from? And look at that. Now you have a cardinal. I don't have to feed you. That's real nice. See you again. If you enjoyed this video, here's another you may like. And here's a playlist of other projects that you might enjoy.